Marisa. I turned to find the master of the Scarlet Devil Mansion approaching me. Now that the sun has set, she would wander freely without her parasol. Currently, she was in her elegant lady mode, but she switched between that and a childish nature that fit her appearance incredibly fast. I never understood how she did it. I've heard that you've been keeping my sister entertained while visiting recently. I must thank you for helping in that matter. Please feel free to speak with me as well if you could come around later at night. Hey, Yarormyr, why is your sister awake during the day so often? I wonder if I should tell you, or have you guess. I think having you guess would be more amusing. In order to see me? She must not get that many visitors, so I bet she changed her sleep schedule to meet with anyone who drops in around early. Aren't we full of ourselves? But yes, that is true. Flandre's been changing her sleep schedule just in case you drop by, so don't leave her waiting too often, Miss Fun Human. Oh great, I'd hate to see a disappointed Flandre. She may actually break out and deal some real damage. Though, how did she stand staying still in the basement so long? Patch has been around for 100 years or so, and Flandre's been in the basement for 500 years or so. Given the timeline, it wouldn't be 500 years more, because she's like 495 in, at the very least, what we call again, USD, which was 2002, so 14 years have passed since then. If time is passing by, which it does, because a Q was 10 during her first debut in like the CD, the re-releasing of the CDs of like the old PC 98, and then she's what, maybe 24, or she's like in her 20s now. So time does pass by. Surprisingly, it does. Ah yes, that reminds me of the other thing I wish to speak to you about. Your fate. Ooh, fancy. My fate. Vampires might be among the most well-known species of yokai, especially considering their age, but Marilia had one mystery that no one had fully unraveled. Her power, the mastery of fate, was almost meaningless in its vagueness. Perhaps she was viewing my fate. Perhaps she was even changing it now. You've started down several paths, and a new path will soon open before you. You will need to follow them all to obtain what you seek, but in seeking, you may find your goal has changed, and it will be nigh impossible for you to find the ends of all the paths. So you will be forced to choose. Thanks. I don't suppose you could be more helpful? Nope. Great. You should give Aya fortunes for her paper. Why did you tell me this anyway? Because no matter what path you choose, it'll be quite the incident. That much is certain. I'm looking forward to help cause it. I see. Wait, is this about my New Year's resolution? My New Year's resolution? Perhaps it could be, but that depends on you. Anyway, I must be off. I think Suika's sake bottle might be unguarded. Yarormyr left me in order to mess with the Oni, and with way too many questions. Normally she was the sane yokai. I should do something else to get my mind off this. Maybe I should go for some air. Let's see, I should go. Okay, so before we decide our decision, let's recap. We're not done yet. I just don't think what Yarormyr said. So the way Yarormyr was saying like her line, right? It sounds like later down this game, maybe we're gonna have like a big split decision of how we're gonna approach this. I think, like with EOSD and PCB, you had a choice between Reimu and Marisa when you're choosing a route, and that obviously made a significant change into how the story plays out in the middle, and then obviously the way it ended was almost the same. But with this game, again, I still don't know because this is my first playthrough, so we'll have to see. How do I want to deal with this? Behind the shrine, down the path, or winded forest. I mean, again, since none of them are really pertaining to the immortality, which is what I'm really going for, doesn't really matter for choice. Behind the shrine, down the path, or under the forest. Behind the shrine, I guess, just because we can just come back here quickly. Behind the shrine sounds good. You don't want to go that way. She's waiting for you there. Then again, maybe I don't want to go that way. Nitori might consider that an acceptance of her offer to take her yukata off, and I'm almost certain that she's wearing it traditionally despite the cold. I began to walk towards where the drinks were, when a patch of air turned to static and Nitori appeared before me. I was going to show you this robbing feature you asked about, and it seemed like my fears were well founded. I didn't ask to see it. This was starting to get a little weird. I figured bluntness was my best option here. Seriously, Nitori, why are you doing this? You weren't acting this weird last winter. Why are you suddenly trying to get into my dress now? Because you're cute. Have a great sense of humor, and I think we can hit it off well. And even with not long-term capable, it would be fun. Nitori actually sounded serious. I wasn't exactly sure how to respond to that. No offense, but you're not really my type, and I don't have time for romance now anyways. You say that, but just like how you won't give up fighting against Reimu Hakurei no matter how many battles you lose, I won't give up so long as there's a chance for our happy ending. I know I shouldn't ask, but what was the last bit about? Wasn't the last bit a euphemism or not? Yes! That's what I was afraid of. Anyway, I'll retreat for today, but I'll find a way to your heart someday, and someday soon. The Kappa stuffed suit engaged once again as she faded from view. I silently wondered what I was going to do about my new admirer, and if my constant matches against Reimu were as annoying to her as Nitori's advances were to me. No, that wasn't possible. Everybody loves my antics. Well, aren't you full of yourself? Besides, it's not like I can lose to Reimu all the time. At least from what I understand. I think if I remember correctly when I'm reading, it's like a 60-40 chance, like it's a 60-40 against Reimu, so she's the 40 and Reimu's 60 in terms of battles, I believe. I went back to where the cloth was. Don't quote me on the 60-40, I believe I read in her profile. I went back to where the cloth was. Hey, Alice. Alice didn't reply. When I got close, I saw her eyes were closed. It seemed like she had fallen asleep watching the blossoms. Maybe she drank a little too much. I swept the rest of the bottle and laid down myself. The slow fall of the blossom was hypnotic from this angle. Maybe Alice had the right idea. And GG, well played? Achoo! Seems like someone's talking about you. Oh yeah, but in Japan, it's believed that you sneeze, it's a sign that someone's talking about you. I'd never stop sneezing during incidents if that was the case. Anyway, discard already. Then you can deal into my hand so I can win. I can't believe your luck. How can I be stuck in Tenpu for the whole round? I'd comment, but I don't know the game. Shouldn't have declared Vici so early. Done. Oh man, this is terrible. And that's the win I need. Wind I need? Ron. I don't think so, Reimu. Huh? Ron, 13th old friend. The game's mine. I don't believe this. And the shrine's cleared up. Marisa. Why is Patrick calling my name? Marisa. Marisa, I like my blankets back. Huh? What are you talking about? The blanket you're sleeping on, I want it back before I go home. Oh, I must have fallen asleep too. I stood up and yawned while Alice retrieved the cloth. I guess it's time to head home. Night, Alice. Good night, Marisa.